Good morning. It is Saturday, and I have just been trying to be prayerful, trying to do what it is that I'm supposed to do. And I was um, texting a friend of mine, and based on the text that I was writing him, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to make a video. Okay. So let me read to you what I was going to send him. I'm not going to send it to him. He can watch this video. Okay, guys. So here we go. I was, you know, just saying, blessings to you and stuff like that. I try to stay in contact with people. And so I was thinking about some things. And so I said to him, um, I was telling him about my experience in Houston. I think my boys were, I think Jonathan was like 6 and Joseph was like 2 years old. Well, Kevin Costner was in, um, I'm not even thinking of the right place. It's called King something, but it's near the Woodlands. It's in the north side of Houston. And so Kevin Costner was in the area, and they did a call out for extras to be in the movie that he was shooting, and the movie was Tin Cup. So I saw the message and everything, and so I left my little job and drove out to the north side to this golf club up there, and stood in a long line of people. Didn't really talk to anybody or anything like that, besides the niceties, how you doing, that type of stuff. So I'm in the line. I get all the way up to this table, and this lady takes out my name, my birthday, height, weight, um, and then has me stand up against the wall, and she takes a Polaroid picture of me. And so that was basically it. So I got back into my car and drove back down to the medical center, which is the area that I was working at the time. I was working for the Catholic Church, and it used to be that the they used to have a place called St. Dominic Center, and it was where retired priests who had medical issues. Um, that's where they were cared for by private duty nurses who were also nuns. Okay, so I went on back down to my little office and everything, got back to work. Well, wouldn't you know it, I get a phone call. You have been selected to be an extra for this movie. And I was like, oh, okay, good, cool. So then it's all the instructions. Okay. The time that you would have to be on set, um, wardrobe. And let me tell you something, honey. The wardrobe was khakis, khaki pants or khaki shorts, a polo shirt, and sun visor or a hat if you like to wear it. Um, and they had specific colors and everything like that. Well, guess what? Guess who's supposed to buy all that? Me. Uh, the shoes, everything. I'm supposed to provide all of that, not them. Okay, so then the next thing was um, how long I was expected to be on set. 10 or more hours as an extra. And finally, down at the bottom was what you're going to receive for being an extra. $25. $25 for being on set for 10 hours. Now, they didn't say anything about food, which I assumed that we had to provide our own food. Nothing was in there stipulated about that. And the the place, the golf club wasn't going to provide any of that kind of stuff for us. And so we were up to our own devices to figure out what we're going to do about that. And I decided that as a single mom of 2 kids, I just did not have the resources or the time to do something like that. Did I call my family or anything? No, because can you imagine my family supporting me to do a movie? Do you understand that daycare, which my sons were going to, closes at 6 p.m.? Do you know that? They don't stay up until 10. And if I wanted to take them to Robindale's, which was a 24-hour-a-day daycare center in Houston on the southwest side, oh, you're going to pay a pretty penny, which I have done. I used to take my kids to Robindale's because my friend worked there. Cynthia worked there. And so I would take them to her daycare center. If I took them to my family, they would definitely be molested. They would be beaten. They would be starved. You know? So I paid for them to go to Robindale's just so that I know that they would be safe, you know? And so getting back to my current, $25 for me to be on set all day, that wasn't going to cut it, now was it? No. Couldn't do that. Could not do that. And so that was the end of that. I should also tell you, as I was going to tell him, I was working for the Catholic Archdiocese. I worked in the Office of African American Ministries, and they paid me $9.19 an hour as a secretary. Now, I got this job by a member of Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. He was a deacon there, and he knew these guys. And, you know, I tried to understand what his deal was, but I never could understand it. And for some reason, people never explained to me what it was that they were trying to do or whatever. They would never come out and say to me, this is what the deal is, Coletha. Never. Nobody has ever just come straight out and said to me, this is what's going on. Nobody in my family, nobody, you know. And I guess it's because they want me to jump to my own conclusions. I don't do that. I don't jump to my own conclusions. I don't try to figure out what's in another person's mind, or what their intentions are, anything like that. It's enough for me to try to figure out why I do what I do. And let me tell you something, I help people and no strings attached. You know, if I can help, I just help and that's it. But there are some other people that, this is just me jumping to a conclusion in this regard because I'm trying to explain it to you guys. Like that deacon, I don't even remember his name. And it's not like he kept in touch with me or anything like that. Let me tell you something. I called him because I was having trouble with my car. And he offered to send a town car to pick me up and take me to work and, drop my kids off and stuff like that. Well, to me, I was like, what the hell is wrong with him? I need a mechanic. Why would any grown man who is a real man offer me a car service when I have a car? It just needs a repair. I'm not impressed by um, him sending me a car service because how the hell does that help me? It's a temporary fix, right? So if the car picks me up, I take my kids to the daycare so that the daycare can take them to school and pick them up. I work all day. I get off from work and the car service doesn't show up. That means I got to catch the bus, figure out what bus to catch to get over to the daycare by the time that they close, and then get back on the daycare with get back on the bus with my two little kids to get me home so that I can feed them and do homework and stuff like that. What grown man would not make sure that I have my own vehicle to get my vehicle fixed so that I can get to work, right? And this is a deacon at the church that I attend, where my son is baptized at, you know. So I just decided that this person, and it was not a friend, okay? This person was not a friend. He was either a sub man, that's what I call a sub man, not a real man. He didn't understand um, things. That whole car service stuff, that's not something for a secretary, number one. A secretary doesn't get a car service. Okay, that's inappropriate. Number two, the person who gets the car service is like a CEO, a C-level executive or higher. Okay. Anytime that you have a secretary that is getting a car service, please believe something wonky is going on. Okay, now let's talk about nonprofit. The church or any reputable nonprofit is not going to have a car service. Let me say that again. A reputable nonprofit will never use a car service. Now, what they may use is Sister Gladys's son, who doesn't have a job, will come and pick you up in the Toyota Tercel and take you where you need to go. Okay, since you're a member of the church and everything, and we actually do have members who don't have a job at the time and are hanging out, and we know who they are because they are in contact with the church, and we can get them a little extra monies by having them to provide a service like that for the single moms in the church and the elderly in the church. Who need somebody to pick them up to come to church for Sunday service and things like that, Bible study, things like that. But to have a car service to come and pick up a secretary for a nonprofit to be scheduled by a deacon of the church is a no-no. It is inappropriate. It gives it's just not done by decent people. I'm just gonna say it like that. It looks suspect. Okay. Nonprofit people are not supposed to be rolling around in Benzes and Mercedes and things like that. They drive Fords. Okay. Even if the director of the nonprofit is a Kennedy, they are not going to be in a Lamborghini coming to work. Okay. There really is no reason for anyone, unless you drive for NASCAR. What is the point of having a Lamborghini? Okay. What is the point of an everyday person having a Lamborghini, a Rolls Royce? I know that rap people, hip hop people, really push that narrative. However, it was not a lifestyle choice. It was just a video. You weren't supposed to take that seriously. Everybody was supposed to know that this is just a work of art. This is art. It's imagery. It is art. It is not real. It's not real. It wasn't supposed to be for people, everyday people, to then decide, I've got to prostitute my kids. I've got to sell drugs. I've got to do all of these other lascivious things so that I can live the lifestyle of a rapper. That's not what was supposed to be happening. And many people really were shocked that people would take this seriously as a manual, how-to manual of what their life is supposed to look like, and that by hook or crook, they're supposed to be trying to get this kind of a lifestyle. Okay? So, getting back to the message that I'm not going to send, but I'm going to wrap it up because I'm getting long. Okay, so here's the point that I was wrapping up with him. HR 40 right now. Sheila Jackson Lee, Councilwoman Sheila Jackson Lee is doing this HR 40 to look at reparations for the descendants of black slaves here in America. And I texted him and I said, I am afraid that Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee's HR 40 results will prove I am not black at all. And I will get zero reparations. Whereas all the lily white folks that I know will be found to be genetically descended from black slaves. And they will get reparations, housing, let out of jail, clothing, shoes, education, free education, everything that was denied black American descendants of slaves. they will get, including business loans to start their own companies, free commercial retail space, and even vouchers for getting free vehicles, free equipment, and gas to put in their vehicles, plus um, insurance to cover all of their property, all of their kids, themselves, everything that they see and own and have, including their businesses. So that's what I said. And so that's the basis of this video, y'all. So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? Just based on what has always happened, I'm thinking that that is what's going to happen again. That's what's going to happen again. I do not believe that they are going to pack fair with black people. They never have. And I don't see anything in this culture, in this company, in this nation that says to me that anything has changed. You hear me? I don't see ooh, where nothing has changed. Nothing at all. Nothing at all has changed. I don't see it. Now, I do see that certain people have changed, kind of like McCain did before he passed. And he supported Barack Obama, President Obama, with the medical coverage. But he's an individual. Do I see where anything in this nation has changed? No, no. It's an arrogance. There is an arrogance of, and many times they will say that black people are arrogant. Black people are very prideful. They think too highly of themselves. I have actually been told that by people. Okay? I've actually been told that by people who looked me straight in my face and said that. Okay? So, based on my experience, I'm going to wait and see what happens. But mark my words that black people will be found to have never been slaves at all. But it was white people, especially like Appalachian white people and stuff, who were actually slaves, and black people were actually slave masters. Watch and see. You hear me? They're the ones who owned slaves. And the slaves were not black, but were actually white and were the prisoners from British prisons that were sent to the colonies to settle the colonies. They are actually the population that were slaves. And the animosity that is felt towards black people and what the KKK did, and what white police officers do and stuff like that, is because it was the black people who oppressed those prisoners from Britain and enslaved them and raped them and when they arrived here in America. Okay. And the reason why the white settlers survived when they got here is because there were black uh, people already here, and they saved the white settlers, the prisoners, uh, only to enslave them, to use them as slaves. And it was one of the white prisoners who was in jail but was an aristocrat. And he was the one who brokered the deal with King George to buy, um, to go into business with the black people, the black indigenous people here in America. And the Native Americans and the black people here, which were all the same people, the indigenous people that were here, they actually enslaved the white colonists who came here to America. Okay? And the war about the redcoats and all of that, that was the white slaves rising up and revolting against the indigenous people here. And the deals, the business deals that was struck with Britain, with England, they are still in force today. They have not gone away. And that is the source of uh, white people's wealth to do a lot of things, because that treaty, um, that agreement is still in effect. And this whole black slavery thing is a lie. It's not real. And that's the whole point of 1619. They're not trying to erase the history. They are trying to correct the history. So a lot of the reason why they report on the callousness of black people, the things that black people will do and stuff like that, is because it was the black people who enslaved white British people, the prisoners, the inmates from British prisons. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. They know it. Even black people know it. Okay? But I believe that this truth is going to come out more so with the reparations for HR 40. Like, they may give black people or disqualify black people. Like, say black people have been getting subsidies for housing and food stamps and WIC, and they're going to put a dollar amount on all of that. And then they're going to separate it from the reparations that these black descendants of slaves are supposed to get. But the white people are going to get the bulk of all of these so-called reparations and everything. They're going to get everything, just like before. The subdivisions, the loans, the cars, the college education, and that's what I think. What do y'all think? Okay, let me know. But that is what I believe is what is going to happen. And we will see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But watch. There are no plans to help black people. And the reason why is because I believe that they know the truth, that the slaves were actually the white people and the slave masters were actually the black people. And the slave masters actually were humane. They actually were nice. But the fact that they owned other people is a problem. Is a problem. It doesn't matter that those ones who were originally slaves were given their freedom by the blacks. But then, once they got into power, they started to enslave, abduct, kidnap, and enslave free black people, the masters. Okay? So that's how black people began to be slaves. It wasn't because they were born into slavery, it wasn't because they were actually the descendant of the masters and they became slaves. And then came the in the 1900s, where the 1800s. Um, they've been trying to correct this here for a long time, y'all. They've been trying to correct this here for a long time, and I don't know why they just won't just tell the truth and be done with it. Just tell the truth and be done with it. But they've got to figure out a way how to tell the truth and actually help the actual descendants of the actual slaves in America. Um, I believe that the actual slaves are white trash. And I think that the white elites that were not descendants of slaves, I don't think that they want to help them. You know, I don't think that they want to help them. And we're going to see what's going to happen. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be a hot mess, y'all. It's going to be a hot mess because they've been lying for hundreds of years. What's being taught in the history books is lies. The daughters of the Confederacy just, oh Lord, mm, mm, mm. And it ain't working. It ain't working, y'all. Ooh, it's just a mess. I'm gonna make me some more coffee, honey. What time is it? Let me see what's going on in these streets. Okay. I'm not gonna send this to I'm not gonna send this text to him. I'm gonna erase it. But mm, mm, mm. Y'all, I'm telling y'all the truth about America. It's something. If they actually come out and tell the truth and show the receipts, because I'm gonna tell y'all something, honey. Even before I left Houston, many, many years ago, I looked up in the manifests of the names of those that came over here on the ships. Child, the only records that I can find is is the people who came over as prisoners from England. Amistad happened, the ship Amistad, it was in reverse. That's what I found. Um, I did my ancestry.com and it put me in Bulgaria. Is that African? Y'all, I don't think I'm gonna get no reparations, y'all. But I think that my white trash cousins that live in the sticks in Texas who still have an outhouse, um, who are not worried about uh, this snow, who have spent, you know, their childhood and adulthood with the pigs and the cows and the chickens doing ungodly, unchristian things. Um, I believe that they're the ones who are going to get the reparations, less trying to civilize them, you know, bring them out of the sticks or redevelop the sticks or take their land or something like that, which is, I believe, the reason for the insurrection, which is really the dog whistle that you heard from Trump, is because the bulk of his followers, they do not want to be civilized. They do not want to be brought into the regular society. You know, they want their freedom, but there's such a level of depression um, in them because of generations of being neglected. Um, Maybe they've been trying to take the kids, you know, and educate them. They've been, you know, my grandmother was one that was removed from the family. But even so, there's still other white people from other nationalities who came in during the 50s and 40s and, you know what I'm saying, during the wars of the 1900s, who do not want to let those original or the original Americans and to be a part of the society unless they can use them in some way. Set them up, get them high, prostitute them, abuse them in some way, steal money from them, and put life insurance policies on them so that when they die from a drug overdose or whatever, they can get the insurance money. It's a quagmire. It's a mess. I don't know how they're going to figure it out, but there's over 100 Congress people on this committee, and I pray that they're able to do something. Will they keep the lie going or will they tell the truth? If the truth comes out, which is what I think that they're gearing up for, and I think they've been gearing up for it since 2014. They don't want to have the United States to go into war, but they are ready for that possibility. The federal government is. And I see the municipalities and all of them, they are also gearing up for it. You know? Do I think that it means that the United States may splinter? I think so, y'all. I think so. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm praying. I'm praying God's will be done. I'm praying that what God has ordained is what comes to pass. And that's it. That's all I can say. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. It's I did want to tell him. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's called. So I just sent the message to him, and so I am going to wrap it up. See y'all later. See, I ain't black. I can't dance. Whatever. I don't know how to be black. I just know how to be me and barely that, y'all. Have a blessed day. I'll see y'all later.